Leif Erikson, also known as Leif the Lucky, was a Norse explorer who is thought to have been the first European to have set foot on continental North America, approximately half a millennium before Christopher Columbus. Leif was the son of Eric the Red and the grandson of Thorvald Asvaldsson, and a distant relative of Nadod, the discoverer of Iceland. His year of birth is most often given as 970 or 980. Though Leif's birthplace is not accounted for in the sagas, it is likely he was born in Iceland, where his parents met, probably somewhere on the edge of Breiðafjörður, and possibly at the farm Haukadal where Chohild's family is said to have been based. When Eric was banished from Iceland, he traveled further west to an area he named Greenland, where he established the first permanent settlement in 986. Tyrker, one of Eric's thralls, had been especially trusted to keep in charge of Eric's children, as Leif later referred to him as his foster father. According to the sagas of Icelanders, he established a Norse settlement at Vinland, which is usually interpreted as being coastal North America. There is ongoing speculation that the settlement made by Leif and his crew corresponds to the remains of a Norse settlement found in Newfoundland, Canada, called L'Anse aux Meadows, which was occupied 1,000 years ago. According to this saga, Leif was not the first European to discover America. Instead, Bjarni Herjolfsson and his crew, on a voyage from Iceland to Greenland, were blown off course, missed the southern tip of Greenland, and encountered an unknown coast. Believing it to be somewhere other than Greenland, they did not disembark but rather sailed back east, eventually making it to their original destination, where they told of their discovery. Leif then approached Bjarni, purchased his ship, gathered a crew of 35 men, and mounted an expedition towards the land Bjarni had described. His father Eric was set to join him but dropped out after he fell from his horse on his way to set sail, an incident he interpreted as a bad omen. Leif followed Bjarni's route in reverse and landed first in a rocky and desolate place he named Helluland, possibly Baffin Island or northern parts of Labrador. After venturing further by sea, he landed the second time in a forested place he named Markland, Forestland, possibly near Cape Porcupine, Labrador. After 2 more days at sea, he landed on an island to the north, possibly Belle Isle, and then returned to the mainland, going past a cape on the north side, Cape Bald. They sailed to the west of this and landed in a verdant area with a mild climate and plentiful supplies of salmon. As winter approached, he decided to encamp there and sent out parties to explore the country. During one of these explorations, Tyrker discovered that the land was full of vines and grapes. After having wintered over in Vinland, Leif returned to Greenland in the spring with a cargo of grapes and timber. On the return voyage, he rescued an Icelandic castaway and his crew, earning him the nickname, Leif the Lucky. Leif never returned to Vinland, but others from Greenland and Iceland did. While Leif had no contact with the indigenous peoples of Vinland, later Norse explorers did, referring to them as Skraelingi, an archaic term for wretches. According to the saga of Eric the Red, the first encounter was made during a colonizing expedition led by Thorfinn Karlsefni, which also included Leif's brother Thorvald. At first this group traded with the natives, but weeks later the new Norse settlement was attacked and Karlsefni decided to abandon it. The fleeing Norse continued to explore the general area, and one morning they encountered a one-legged native, who shot an arrow that killed Thorvald. He is famously known for pulling the arrow out, and poetically reciting the phrase, "This is a rich country we have found. There is plenty of fat around my entrails," upon which he dies. On their return to Greenland, Karlsefni's crew captured 2 native boys, taking them to Greenland. Research done in the early 1960s by Norwegian explorer Helge Ingstad and his wife, archaeologist Anne Stein Ingstad, identified a Norse site located at the northern tip of Newfoundland. It has been suggested that this site, known as L'Anse aux Meadows, is Leifsbutter. The Ingstads demonstrated that Norsemen had reached America about 500 years before Christopher Columbus. Later archaeological evidence suggests that Vinland may have been the areas around the Gulf of St. Lawrence and that the L'Anse aux Meadows site was a ship repair station and waypoint for voyages there. That does not necessarily contradict the identification of L'Anse aux Meadows as Leifsbutter, since the 2 sagas appear to describe Vinland as a wider region which included several settlements.